Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69 and welcome back to the channel. So we've had the top 5 tech tree tanks, we've had the top 5 premium tanks, and now we are up to the top 5 collectible tanks that you just never see in battle. And we're going to kick it off with the KV-13. Currently, over the last 90 days, 101 people have been playing this tank. Now, this tank used to be in the tech tree. It was a pretty good tank. It was nothing special, and it was the kind of tank that was just extra in the tech tree, leading on sort of the T43, the T3485. So you could either get sort of the I think it was the T43, and then this would go into its own sort of tech tree, which it was just this tank. There was nothing leading on from this tank. So Wargaming decided to remove this tank altogether and put it as a collectible tank. Again, I mean, I'm okay with that. It wasn't, even back then when it was in the tech tree, it wasn't a well-known, well-played tank. Not many people played the tank, but it was still an okay tank. It was great rate of fire, good speed, not so much armor, but it did have the troll armor, so you could bounce the odd shot. But other than that, it is a collectible tank, and it is still now very rare, as it very rarely comes for sale. Leading on to the next tank, this is probably one of the rarest in this video. It is the Panzer IV Hydrostat. Currently, over the last 90 days, only 26 people are playing this tank. Now, this was a premium tank that got made into a collectible. Not sure why. It is a tier 5 German tank, and it's been around, it's actually been around a long time. It's been for sale a few times, so I am surprised to see so little people playing this tank. It's been around forever. Now, maybe you might see this more on NA server, etc., because usually on the EU server, the KV220 comes for sale, and for some odd reason that doesn't come for sale on the NA server. So instead, this usually comes the same time. So you may see more on the NA server than you do the EU server, but it still comes for sale on the EU server. So I don't quite understand why the KV220 never comes for sale on the NA server, and instead they bring this. But yeah, EU has pretty much both come for sale. So I've owned it since it was first for sale, but that when it was first for sale, it has been around a lot longer before it was actually for sale, which I'm probably gonna talk about in a different top 5 video. So in this top 5 video, all we need to know is very rare. Hardly anyone plays the tank. 26 people, that is not a lot of people. That is across all servers, I believe. That's across all servers. That's not just 26 people playing it on EU or 26 on NA. That is just 26 people in total over the last 90 days playing this tank. It's an okay tank. I mean, there's nothing special about the tank. The armor's not fantastic. The rate of fire, again, not fantastic. There's nothing special about it. It's just an average Joe, okay tank that does all right. If it came for sale, it's not a tank I would jump at to get the tank. I'm like, oh my god, the Panzer IV Hydrostat is for sale, let's go buy it. Other than collectible reasons, that's the only reason I would see anyone buying this tank, because there's so much more better tier 5s out there than the Panzer IV Hydrostat. So that is that tank. Next up, we have this tank right here. Now, only 55 people have played this in the last 90 days, and it is the Churchill gun carrier, or the game carrier as people like to call it. Now, very rare. Again, this used to be in the tech tree, in the British tech tree. 55 people is pretty low. I thought there would be a lot more people playing this. Now, the majority of the people playing this tank only play it for the memes, because it looks like a meme. But it's actually not a bad tank. It's slow, it looks ugly, it's not got the greatest of armors, but what it has got is such a fantastic gun, a great gun. good accuracy, good alpha, just good aim time, just everything about this gun is amazing. It's just a shame that the tank is not amazing as the gun is. But yeah, not a lot of people playing it. And even those people who are playing it are probably playing it just for the memes. Moving on to the next one now, a few more people are actually playing this tank. It is the T150. 247 people are actually playing this tank, but I thought I would add it because, again, it is a tank that used to be in the tech tree that I'm very, very disappointed that it got removed, because just like the other tank that I just showed you, the KV-13, there is a couple of tanks that sort of you can get in the tech tree that doesn't lead on to anything. Now, this wasn't one of them. The KV-3 actually led from this tank, and it was actually the KV-2 that led from nothing. The KV-2 was a spare tank in effect, but Wargaming decided to remove this and keep the KV-2 in the tech tree. So now to get to the next level, to get to the next tier, the KV-3, etc., you have to play the KV-2. And the KV-2 is absolutely nothing like the Lion. Nothing like the KV-1S, nothing like the KV-3 or the KV-4 or ST, where this is like the whole line. This is basically a KV-4, KV-3, IS-4 in tier 6. It is an absolutely amazing tank, and I've done a video on it before where I would love for Wargaming to reconsider about this tank and put it back in the tech tree, especially it being tier 6. People will learn from this tank and they will go on to the KV-3 with some knowledge on how to play it, and that will help out a lot. But as it happens, not a lot of people were playing it, and it is a collectible tank. Now, next up, this tank here, the T67. It is a tier 5 and American TD, but what a tank this is. 101 people have been playing this tank in the last 90 days, which actually I thought, you know what, I thought it would be less than that tank, less than that number, sorry, but no, it's still quite a low number, but it's a great tank. It's a tank that I haven't played at all for the last few years, but it's a great tank. Actually playing this tank, I really enjoyed it, and I'm actually making another video with this tank, another top 5 video that this tank appears in, because there is some things that you don't know about this tank, which I will explain in a different video. So the T67 tier 5 tank, very good tank. 101 people playing it. It's not so popular, but it is a collectible, and again, it used to be in the tech tree that Wargaming just removed. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know the top 5 collectible tanks that you think you never see in game. There is loads. After 5.5, there's absolutely loads that you can actually add to the list, but let me know yours. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meaty, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.